Game on, everyone! We have our first game of day 2 of the Nut Cup. Team Russia goes up against Team Cheese. With a couple of interesting results yesterday. Some of the matches ended a little bit different than expected, and especially Team Bolio had a couple... Boluo had a couple of matches against Team Cheese where I was just like, okay, didn't quite expect it to go this way. So today we might have a few more surprises coming our way, but first of all we're looking at Team Russia, who lost to Coming Through, and Team Cheese, who was defeated by Washed Up. So both of them find themselves now in the lower bracket of the Nut Cup, and with that we're going to find out which team will be eliminated from the tournament and which team will advance through the lower bracket. So the Nut Cup at this point is featuring bans on... This is going to be a Nubarak ban, right? I mean, yes, there we go. Stork's heroes could just get banned out. Stork is getting fully targeted here. He loves to play as a Nubarak. He played a lot with Imperius as well. They really work around their tank player and the setups that he usually provides for the team. So Team Cheese is just looking at that and saying, okay, but just ban out his heroes and take it from there. And yeah, the target banning against Stork, let's see if it's going to be successful. Team Russia, on the other hand, already banning out Maiev. And our second ban is going to be Zeratul as we are heading into this. A little bit hyped for it, not gonna lie, it should be a good one. Also, while we're here at the Nut Cup currently, keep in mind that Meta Madness is also coming up very, very soon. And in case that you want to watch that live, in case that you're actually watching this video on YouTube right now, Meta Madness is going to take place on the 23rd and the 24th of this month. And we're going to start the tournament on each one of these days at 2 PM CET, Berlin time. So if you want to tune in for that, go to twitch.tv/Khaldor and you can check it out there. Meta Madness, of course, having some special rules for heroes that are banned within a best of 5 series aren't only banned for the next map, but actually for the entire series, which means that teams have to become very creative, very fast as the game or the series progresses. And if you're ending up on map 5, for example, you will have around 30 heroes banned out completely, which can be a lot of fun. So if you want to catch that live, 23rd and 24th is the date, keep that in mind. Heading into our first game here on the Nut Cup, on the other hand, a completely different tournament with no special rules, but a lot of awesome teams that will also soon start to play in Division S. Division S, by the way, is starting on the 18th. That's a Monday, so they can schedule the teams a little bit more freely, but don't worry, all the videos will be uploaded to YouTube too. So with now Team Cheese sitting here, we have actually Turanda taken, Garrosh as well, so a bit of a combo approach here from Berghult, who can just like flip a hero over and Turanda can get the stun. Keep in mind that we are actually seeing Berghult now on a different hero than his standard too. Normally he plays a lot around Johanna, which would be great for Infernal Shrines as well, and Turiel, but this time they're mixing things up a little bit. They still have HANZO here. And Team Cheese really surprised me. They lost 2 players that helped them a lot during the Division S qualifiers, because Shrimpy and Gia will go to play in the Chinese tournament that's going to start soon. Also a tournament that we're going to cast on Twitch, and then the videos will be uploaded to YouTube. But with those 2 gone, they went for 2 replacement players, and I did not expect them to be this strong just after such a big change in the lineup, and they did fantastic yesterday. And I'm personally really hyped to see how they're going to perform today, especially of course against Team Russia, since Team Russia is a bit of a fan favorite by now and very aggressive. The Mephisto ban here also is not a surprise. After we've seen Make yesterday just destroy people with Mephisto, and Tracer by the way, Mephisto now banned out. But personally I already want to know, Mako and Genji, okay, if we're going to see him on another Overwatch hero here. Kolya Martian with Ana, we have also Toxic now on Leoric, so Diablo and Lorik at the front. Good burst damage coming from Jaina, especially of course with the nano boost. We've had one game with Washed Up yesterday against Coming Through, where Mena and his boys destroyed completely in a team fight after a fantastic Mighty Gust that we saw from HANZO. Let's see if we see something similar here today. Reyna's taken as the last hero. We have even Dehaka in game now from Max Passion, as we have a global on Infernal Shrines. And therefore the stage is set for our best of 3, starting into our first match of the day between Team Cheese and Team Russia. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, and on the left we have Stork on Diablo. We're seeing Banabir on Jaina, Kolya Martian on Ana, Fallen on RAYNOR, and Toxic playing Leoric. As we have to the right side of the map, Make on Genji looking once again for those resets. Berghult on Garrosh. We're currently having Galnegunar on Tyrande, Skog on HANZO, and Max Passion on Dehaka. Infernal Shrines is the first map, and of course this is a hugely important match for both of the teams, as I already said during the draft, simply because we are in the lower bracket. Meaning if you lose here, you're out of the tournament, you're out of the Nut Cup, and both of the teams would absolutely love to avoid that. So with that said, we're already having them moving straight into the middle, and there's a lot of aggression that we're seeing from Team Cheese. Oh, well, potential aggression and quick kills, thanks to Garrosh and also Tyrande. And while we're talking a lot about Backhult and his Johanna and his Tyrael, he has played a couple of games on Garrosh as well, and had some fantastic flanks with the heroes to create kill opportunities. We're not even seeing anyone rotating towards the top just yet. Dehaka is actually currently... Okay, he was sitting at the bot lane for a little bit, got a wave there, and then moved top. But Backhult down here is in trouble, and if he gets more slowed by Jaina, he might even die. That didn't quite happen, but that was a close call there for a few seconds. Good stun from Tyrande to make sure that nobody could follow him even more. That was a ton of damage, and it shows again why a hero like Jaina can be really good against Garrosh, because she's just fantastic at controlling the movement of a single hero through those slows, and that's exactly what we just saw there. Just making sure that Garrosh has a tough time getting away, that he eats a lot of damage there, and can of course also control that movement when he moves in. It's one of the reasons why RAYNOR, for example, isn't too bad against the hero either. You can't just spam out your penetrating round if you're going up against Garrosh, but you can always hold it back a bit to make sure that when he tries to make his move, you can push him back and can just simply create a little bit of space for you. So we have now two heroes on the side of Team Russia that are fairly decent when it comes to dealing with Garrosh and his positioning during team fights in general. And we'll see if that's going to be enough to deal with Backhult. Team Cheese has played a fantastic tournament yesterday. Yes, they lost a few of their games and find themselves now in the lower bracket, but just the overall performance was pretty decent, especially considering the recent team lineup changes that we discussed during the draft. So now, on the other hand, Team Russia, they're also in a situation where they have to showcase that they are not giving up just yet. They got pretty much owned yesterday by coming through. It's a pretty brutal display that we saw there. And Team Russia just didn't have the answer for those drafts, especially those Rexa shenanigans that we saw from coming through. Drafting Rexa multiple times. Actually, they drafted the hero yesterday whenever they could. Could really tell that when Sumuro wasn't available for Monkey, then they immediately moved into Rexa, and that hero did extremely well, especially on Dragonshire. Rexa, of course, always had a little bit of a niche that could be played. Up towards the top, Max Passion still locked into that one-on-one setup. Currently also seeing the first shrine activating on the map, as both teams are on level 4 talents. Nothing really out of the ordinary just yet with those talents. Pretty standard builds for most. Leo goes down. Nice attack at the top side. Toxic gets focused and drops. Job well done. Build, by the way, on HANZO. We're still seeing him here with a Stormbolt build. Level 1, level 4. We're still seeing the Swift Strike focus for Make himself, who of course goes in again, jumps out immediately, but gets the damage in against Stalk, and here comes the attack against Stalk's Diablo, and he goes down. Job well done, second kill secured, and they are looking to get even another one. Barnaby walking away from Backhult, Max Passion and Dehaka boring in at the side and making sure that he connects another drag, and so far Team Cheese is looking fantastic here. They're doing really well with this. Starting to get the lead also on the minions now. We already have Jaina topside trying to make sure that a few experience points are going to be lost by Team Cheese, but Dehaka rotated in time to get most of this. And this is a pretty decent start here for Team Cheese. About to grab the first Punisher, 2 kills against 0 already. And for this first game, things are definitely looking quite nice. Nice connect here by Toxic on the bot lane. But Make is doing what he does best. He's just swishing around here, trying to get some extra damage in. I could have totally seen them play with Tracer here maybe again. Like he played especially well with Tracer, with Mephisto in the past few days. And now we're seeing him here also on Genji. The defense so far with the level 1 Punisher isn't really an issue. I mean, we're still talking about 4 minutes into the game, so the scaling hasn't really made that Punisher into that beast that he can be in the late game. But they still take down most of the wall here. But of course, a slight lead already in experience for the red team, as we have level 7 talents on both sides. Gives us again the Dragon Hungers right now for the additional spell power. We have a Celestial Attunement for Tyrande, and the attack against Barnabia's Jaina, and he is down. They're trying to get the counter kill against Genji, but Market jumps out. Farlander might be a little bit far out here, to be honest with you. Yep, there comes Backhold, but he doesn't want to get too far in, especially with Stalk still guarding RAYNOR. But they still get a kill, so this is the 3rd kill now. Would have loved to make it a double, but as it stands, it's still 3 kills against 0, and Team Russia is having trouble to getting the connect here. So we're having on level 7 the Willing Vessel. We actually see this a little bit more often lately. They're trying to get the additional Drain Hope, and of course, gives you also the additional heal just in general. For the solo lane, it isn't really too bad, because you can get a lot of self-sustain here. Marco, by the way, attempting to put extra pressure onto Leoric. And so far, that gives Max Passion a little bit more wiggle room on the lane. It already sets him into the winning position. That's always great. With that said, bot lane, camps are now focused, and we're having Team Russia taking 2 very aggressively. And they're starting to try and push the bot lane. The experience... Oh, nice! Not quite the setup that we were hoping for, maybe, but definitely a good attempt there. The level 10 abilities are, of course, unlocking a couple of combos, but so far in the early game, it is definitely a Team Cheese that is running the show here. Stun attempt. The sleeps from Kolya Martian. I really like the heroes that we have from Team Russia to deal with Garrosh, but so far it wasn't quite as successful as they probably expected it to be. But they definitely have the tools to control Backhold's movement. We went over a few of those in the earlier stages of the game, but Ana is of course another hero that with a good Sleeping Dart can definitely help to make sure that Backhold isn't quite as dangerous. The earlier level 10 for Team Cheese, nothing too big. Could see again the penetrating round against Garrosh here, exactly what we mentioned a bit earlier. And here comes the Nano Boost. Here comes also, of course, the Ring of Frost, Nano Boost, the Entomb, and if you get a decent Entomb here, I personally... I mean, you can play both here on Diablo's side. He goes for Apocalypse, could have gone for Lightning Breath. I like the Apocalypse choice a lot with Entomb. But either way, if you get an Entomb off for a decent Apocalypse in a choke point, and then all of a sudden the Nano Boost, the Jaina comes in and pushes the damage out, you know what's going on. So that's definitely something to focus on now. Genji with the X Strike. Same time, we're having on the other side nothing really out of the ordinary. We're still seeing Isolation and also Taunt used from Garrosh here, as we have Shrine number 2 activating up to the top lane, and that is going to be the setup where we will see probably quite a few kills. And it's an important one already. Experience is still fairly the same. Team Russia needs to be a little bit cautious since they... Oh, nice move by Star. Good approach here. Marco for a second not really paying too much attention. Here comes the... Oh, the Ring of Frost doesn't really hit, but they're connecting still. Galdegunar survives, but Garrosh doesn't. Dehaka wasn't there yet. And Stork says, I'm done with this shit. Goes in deep for the 2nd kill against Tyrande. You're not getting away this time. That's the Team Russia that we know. Jumping in, taking the kills. Of course, it was a problem for Team Cheese that they didn't want to fight in the first place. Max Passion was still rotating between the lanes and trying to get the experience here, so they had absolutely no intention of taking a real fight just yet. They wanted to delay this for as long as they could, and they should. If you have Dehaka, you don't want to take that fight right away. You want to draw it out for as long as you can, and in the meantime, Dehaka gets value. But in this case, the fight was forced very quickly by Team Russia, especially, of course, by Leoric. I love the rotation towards the middle now from Team Cheese, not even bothering with the top anymore. That's a massive commitment, and this is going to yield them 1/4 right here. Well, with that, we're currently having still... Fallen actually pausing the game just as the fort goes down. But let's take a quick look at what's happening on the map here. So up at the top lane, we're actually seeing the Punisher now pushing through. That's a frozen Punisher. So the big deal here is that we actually see the red team take the fort in the middle. So they got this one more or less for free, because Team Russia reacted a bit too late with a rotation towards the middle. The only hero that they rotated was actually Leoric, and that was mostly because Leoric wanted to counteract Dehaka who at that point in time was just moving, as we're seeing here, from one lane to another, from the middle to the bottom, and then back into the middle, catching those waves. So in order to make sure that he doesn't get a massive experience lead for his team, Team Russia rotated Leoric over, but they didn't quite expect that everybody else would rotate into the middle too to take the fort down. So first of all, we're going to see an even exchange in the forts with that one falling. But the big deal is that Team Russia still has the chance to get more out of it. So now they're drawing even with this. But since the Punisher is still at 88%, we're seeing them now going down to the bottom, opening the wall here as well. And now they have a chance to follow up on the Punisher's jump and try and get a kill. And they're actually even taking this first tower down and the gate itself. This is an insanely powerful push. And we could have level 30. Oh my god, the Entomb is glorious! And that's a kill right there. It has to be a kill. There is no way Garrus survives through this, and he falls. But he falls late, and Ana might die too. Yes, she does, but look at Dehaka. He's completely exposed. Genji is dead, so is Dehaka. And we're seeing Tyrande fall. Team Russia with a fantastic push on the top lane is getting max value right now. A level ahead for them, and they are destroying that keep. Job well done. What a fantastic Entomb and the follow-up as well. And did you see the Ring of Frost? Barnabia actually accounted for Stork pushing the hero into the Ring of Frost. He hit it in the middle, and then Stork, with the dominance, flipped the target over into the ring, and they finally got the kill, and they got another 3 as a follow-up. Fantastic setup by them here. Really well done. And with that, we're now all of a sudden seeing Team Cheese in a bit of a dangerous position here. They still have level 13 talents, but of course the loss of the keep top lane, that's a pretty big problem right now. And initially, again, I liked the reaction that they had by just simply pushing out the mid lane, and that gave them at least a fort that they took down. But that fight, of course, did not go their way at all. Well, with that now set up, we're having level 14, nearly 15 on the side of Team Russia. So they're going to try and get the early level 16 talent. 6 kills against 4. And the big question that still remains is, can Team Cheese fight their way back into this? Marco was destroyed pretty early in the last fight, and he's one of the big anchor points for his team now, and wants to, of course, get the damage in against the backline, namely Jaina and Ana. In terms of damage output, Jaina is obviously leading the charts here. Can't quite keep up with HANZO, though, on the other side, who gets that extra random damage in. Now, the one point is that we still have to mention, again, is Dehaka. You're losing a keep when you have Dehaka, when you have a global in your lineup, is actually still manageable. Because the big problem, of course, is usually that you don't have the luxury of adding a hero to the lane to constantly outpush against the catapults. But with Dehaka, he can always burrow into the fight a bit later. The one thing that Max Passion has to be super careful about, though, he can't die. So if he is on the solo lane, as you can see here, he freezes the lane. He doesn't really push it out too much, because the farther out he pushes the lane, if he goes all the way up top and then a flank all of a sudden hits him and he gets taken out, that would be a massive problem. So he just freezes the lane here, he just gets the easy experience, he keeps the wave there, he knows nobody can gank him here, and since the Shaman camp was already taken on the other side, this one is going to push in and allow him to defend against it too. And in the meantime, Team Russia is obviously starting a bit of an agenda on their own. They're rotating around and trying to get the damage now at the bottom of the map. We're having, at this point, Pain the Rat taken for RAYNOR. Also seeing now the northern exposure. Damage comes in. Dehaka not making any moves to join this, but here comes the Entomb again. Ring of Frost is hitting hard. Nicely dodged by Make, but it still hits one. The problem is that Jaina is all of a sudden dead in a 4 versus 5, by the way. And now Dehaka moved in 2 to give them the numeric advantage on top of that. Looking for the dragon, should be able to connect it as well. And they're getting it against Diablo. They're trying to take down more of the heroes here, but the fight isn't over just yet. 4 versus 5, 16 talents on both sides right now. Toxic is still in the back line. Max Passion is getting a bit low here. Toxic falls. That's the second kill, and they're trying to go for the triple. Here comes Jimmy, and he's dead as well. Make gets the resets. He wants Ana, and he gets the kill. But Stork is at least able to take one of them down. Now he himself is dead, though, and that is a 5-man wipe right there. The catapult on the core gets destroyed before it can break through the shield. And this is a massive comeback now from Team Cheese. Damn, son. I mean, this was crazy. Well done by them. Even the attempt to go for Leo here. Toxic nearly falling. But now, as you can see, we're having an easy grab on the Punisher number 3. Well, the Haka eventually will have to move to the top, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He needs to deal with the catapults, but of course he still has the global, will have the global up in a few seconds, and then can use it to come back in here. But that was still a pretty sick setup that they had there. Very impressive performance by them. Now Berghult and Khaldor still anchoring this a bit, seeing if they maybe can catch someone, rotating down to the bottom. So far that's not really the case here. Still HANZO is sniffing it out. And of course the Punisher is having an easy time with the fort at the bottom of the map here. With that said, the fight... Oh, the fight against Garrosh. Nicely done. Berghult gets caught after all. And they're seeing if they can maybe catch even more. Genji wants to go for Ana. Arrow actually misses, goes all the way to the top. And as you can see here, HANZO is down. This is changing quickly. This is a little bit like a roller coaster, guys. At the beginning, Team Cheese does well. Then all of a sudden, we're having the Russians doing extremely well with the Punisher, dropping the keep and taking 5 kills. The turnaround as Team Cheese comes back into the game. And now Team Russia is just not giving 2 shits about that Punisher at the bot lane. Lets it go towards the keep and simply saying like, yeah, we're gonna push ourselves. Defend what? What is the word that you're talking about? Defend? Oh, do you mean attack? Yeah, we know attack. No. Defend, I've never heard of that. Defending seems like a weird concept. Why would you defend if you can attack? I don't understand. So, that seems to be the mantra of Team Russia here. And they are on the attack. They are definitely trying to get the damage in there. Now Leo, again, he was a little bit of a traitor. He at least didn't get the memo and didn't join the rest of the team. But they broke through the middle. They took down 4, they took down the wall, and now they are a lot closer to level 20 than the Swedes. You got to, at the same time, admit, though, that we will have a 20 versus 20 fight. So, yeah, it's not like we're going to see a 20 talent come in for Team Russia and then a massive time window that they can use to force fights against Team Cheese. So I don't think that's going to be the case here. But this game so far has been pretty awesome. And it's fairly even right now. Well, with the one exception that obviously the red team wasn't able to take a keep down yet. They eliminated 2 forts at least. Still the Haka, as we said before, he can't die, he needs to sit at the side. That's even the 3rd catapult push in. It's going to deal with all 3 at the same time. Here comes the 20. And now as they have vision of all the heroes in the mid lane, the Haka knows that he has the freedom to move into the lane and take those down. Again, it is about vision. It's really about vision at this point. If you don't know where your opponent is, even with the help of Tyrande and the minions on the map, you don't want to move out. With the death timers as high as they are right now, you can't afford to lose a hero here. So you always have to play around vision. You see Stark and his boys at the bot lane dealing with the minion wave, and immediately you can take care of the top side. That's the reason why the Haka is currently a bit more emboldened in the way that he pushes the wave out. He wants to deal with the shaman camp early on, and he also wants to deal with the catapult. Down here, on the other hand, that fight shouldn't really happen, and that is going to be a problem, especially with HANZO. What? Berghult with a save, but Tyrande dies, and Maka dies as well. Team Russia, they get the fight just as it mattered, and they are taking everything down. Oh my god. 13 kills against 9. And they already start moving in. There's catapults at the top lane, and Team Russia, with the aggression that we're used from this team, are starting to make their way towards the core to win game number 1. Fantastic engage once again, and the Russians with their trademark aggression are going in, dropping Team Cheese on Infernal Shrines as they take the victory on map 1 of the best of 3 series here at the Nut Cup. GG and well played as the Russians take the lead. Game on, everybody. We are heading into map number 2. Team Russia absolutely nailed it on the first one. Well, I mean, to be fair, it was a massive back and forth the entire time, right? But Team Cheese in the end was running into a fight that they did not want to fight. Team Russia dominated it, took all of them down, and then ended the game. Now we're heading into Volskaya Foundry. And I could totally see Team Russia trying to ban out Mephisto again, because that was a very, very big problem yesterday when Team Cheese picked them up a couple of times. So we'll see how that's going to work out with this. And the hero is banned right away. On the last map, they actually banned him on the 3rd ban. This time, they don't want to risk that at all. And they're just saying from the get-go, you know what, let's eliminate this. But it seems that we're also seeing for Team Chewies a similar pattern where they still stick with the idea that we've seen on Infernal Shrines. Ban out Stalk's heroes. Ban out the heroes that he can use to just like jump in and set a combo up for his team. So get rid of Imperius, get rid of Anubarak. Could definitely see that Anubarak ban coming in for Team Cheese on the 2nd now. Team Russia, on the other hand, with a ban against RAYNOR. Wonder if they are trying to play around Garrosh again, which is still a fantastic hero on the map. We talked a bit about how RAYNOR and other heroes can control Garrosh's movement a little bit more. Oh, there's actually Diablo being banned out this time, so they are totally willing to give him Anubarak on this map if he wants it, but instead Diablo is eliminated. Let's see how Team Russia reacts to this now. We have still a couple of really cool heroes out, by the way, that Team Cheese could take. And there's the Anubarak, okay. So now that he has a chance to play it, snapping on Anubarak. Maiev and HANZO. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Since Team Russia opted to ban out... sorry, my bad. I think I talked about this a little bit the wrong way. It felt for a second I thought Team Cheese banned out RAYNOR, so they might want to go into Garrosh. But with RAYNOR being banned, Garrosh is definitely going to become even more of an option. But now you're looking at a setup where Maiev wasn't banned out. And that means that it can be picked up by Team Cheese. And oh my god, immediately the setup around Jaina and Zeratul. And let's go straight to a different problem. What do you ban now if you're Team Cheese? Do you actually ban Malfurion or Tyrande and pick the 2nd one for yourself? Nope. Instead, they ban Ana because they are too afraid of the nano-boosted Jaina. But that all of a sudden leaves Tyrande open. That also leaves Malfurion open, and both of those are heroes that Team Russia can play with if they're trying to get the quick Anubara kills that we are usually seeing from them. So in this setup right now, traditionally Team Russia would go into Malfurion for Kolya Martian and play around that. But this setup is already incredibly dangerous. Void Prison setup again for Ring of Frost. There's the ban against Tyrael. Again, not stupid, they know that Backworld usually plays Tyrael on this map, or Johanna. Could see, in this case, Garrosh. Jaina again can slow him down, but at least there's no penetrating round to go up against. So that's one. The Team Russia is definitely a setup that they're probably going to be very happy with. But then again, you look towards Team Cheese, you see a Maiev and an HANZO. That isn't too bad either. So there's Malfurion and Johanna. Backworld. But yeah, taking the Malfurion away. So Team Russia, if they want to have the quick follow-up on the Anubarak engage, they could still pick Tyrande here. Of course, given the map, we have few other choices that they can also take, but I'm also interested to see what Toxic is going to grab for the offlane, especially since they're running a stalk on Anubarak here. Is that going to be maybe even Blaze? Or are they completely willing to play this a bit more on the squishy side and just trying to get the snap kill and take it around that? Rhaegar and Blaze. Okay, I like the choice into Blaze a lot. Rhaegar, didn't really quite expect Rhaegar to be taken by Kolya Martian here. But here comes Leo for the Entomb setup. Alright, Team Cheese is down one map in the series, but has played a pretty decent first game, to be honest. Again, the victor obviously was Team Russia, but let's see if Team Cheese can win the second one here in Volskaya Foundry. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Team Russia in the lead as we are heading into Volskaya Foundry. And on the left now, Stalk on Anubarak, one of his favorite heroes, Banabir. On Jaina, we have Toxic on Blaze, Farland on Zeratul, and Kolya Martian on Rhaegar. On the right side of the map, Team Cheese with Mucke on Maiev. He's gonna have some fun here, or at least try to carry the team. Backworld on Johanna, Max Passion on Leoric, Scott on HANZO, and Gal Neguna is playing Malfurion here in game number 2. This is already an elimination map. If Team Cheese loses, they would be out of the tournament here. Let's see if the Russians are able to win another one. They have a great setup. First of all, the combo with Anubarak and Blaze is pretty nice, because Toxic has a fantastic hero to take the offlane, but he also can provide a lot of additional resilience for his team and help Stalk out when Anubarak is in trouble with a quick bunker later on. So with that said, we're already having on the right side enemies. Well, actually, first of all, before we're switching over to Team Cheese, let's take another look at the setup with the traditional Void Prison into the Ring of Frost. That alone is already terrifying, especially if we're able to hit the backline. Farlander, on the other hand, is getting hit pretty heavily here by HANZO, who's of course trying to get him low. Having Naisha's Memento taken as level 1 for Maiev. And we don't really see Maiev all that much, so Make finally gets to play that hero here. One of the heroes that gets banned out in most of these matches, as we've probably seen in the past. Toxic already sitting down at the bottom of the map. Max Passion also pushing him out pretty nicely and actually trying to keep him away from the wave for as much as he can, but we have a fight over for the turrets. It is still Volskaya Foundry, so you're trying to grab those turret cams as quickly as you can once that they spawn. And then it's all about that healing beacon, and if someone is really making the play there. We're seeing Backhold again on his Johanna, seeing on the Jojo, so let's see if he can get those condemns through, especially of course the interrupts. And personally, I'm just hyped to see Maiev being played by Make. That could be really cool. But the Zeratul combo on the other side is also super, super dangerous. So this could make for a really cool second map. The first one was already amazing. Just back and forth the entire time. Teams deciding the game through full team wipes, basically. And now here in Volskaya, we have a bit more of a relaxed early game, I want to say. We have a slight inexperience, but as you can see here, both of the teams are sitting back a little bit farther. Nobody wants to be caught by a rotation, and they're just trying to clear the waves, prep for the first objective. Nobody is even making the play for the healing beacon over here just yet. Both of the teams are just making sure that the other team doesn't go for it either, and that's pretty much it. But the camp was taken already from both of them, so mercenaries are clashing at the top lane. And they have to deal with that too, which means that our two offlaners are once again rotating between middle and bottom. But with the next first objective being announced, we're now having a situation in which that is going to be fought over soon. And then we're going to see the real test here. Already Make with the Vault of the Wardens, dodging as much as he can. Teams, of course, are getting ready for this. Also by making sure that they still have access to their fountains here on the left and right side. Not using the cooldowns early. Make tethering, gets actually attacked. Nice hit here from Stalk. Tries to get the setup going. Both of the teams with a single turret. Nice jump by Make once again with the Vault of the Wardens. Keep in mind, those turret cams are going to be coming online in just a bit again, so another item will be available for both of them. Team Cheese taking the initial lead here. Team Russia with a rotation top and bottom, trying to make sure that they're getting the experience and forcing a rotation and an answer from Team Cheese that might enable them to go into the middle and take the control of the checkpoint. Already sitting with 3 heroes here and waiting for the opportunity. Backhold on the other hand also trying to see if he can maybe come in from the side. Make with a tether. Top lane, Zeratul still against HANZO, who has to stay a bit longer for that XP. And already we're having the rotation towards the middle from Team Russia in an attempt to regain control over the choke point. And the control point at the same time, obviously. Pretty early turret here too. So with 69% on the progress, we're having also level 7 now for both of the teams coming in. And that's now the moment where once the turret is down, Make still holds an item, and that's something that Team Russia just doesn't have anymore. But they at least gain control for a little bit and put the name onto the board, so to say. But here comes exactly the play that we've been highlighting at the start. We try and get the turret again, and we should see the same happening from their opponent very soon. But again, turret drop, trying to hold the position here. Toxic is already setting it afire, but we are looking at 85% here. Oh, they're going for Leo. A little bit of free damage. You're definitely going to take that if you can. Nice jet propulsion here from Blaze. Well done. And in comes Zeratul. 99% as they're going in. But everybody is really low here. Especially Make is in trouble. And he falls as Zeratul gets the kill. Tries to move away, but HANZO with a nice shot drops him. But we see Backhold fall too. And now HANZO might be in trouble. Do we have the cooldowns? No, they don't. But Max Passion is still there. Misses the drain against Raygar. And now the control goes for the time being to Team Russia. But they haven't won the Protector yet. They haven't taken it yet. With Johanna coming back in a second, there is still enough time for Team Cheese to move back in and fight over this. Now, the turrets have all been used. There's still a big scout at the bot lane. They want to make sure that there's no additional item, but Make is moving in right now and is taking it with the rest of the team. And as good as the situation with those 2 kills is for Team Russia, at the same time you have to keep in mind that Team Cheese is coming in with full HP, full mana, and an additional item. And that makes all of this really, really dicey. So once again, they're starting to jump in here, and they're trying to get the tether. Great jet propulsions here from Toxic, but he's running out of mana quickly. Max Passion is running out of hit points on the other hand. The same is true for Farlander, but it's Leo that dies first, and Maka is in trouble. Needs to get out of here. Barely gets away from Jaina, who needs to be also careful. Ooh, the kill from Anubarak. Stalk goes in, and Zeratul with a kill against HANZO. Die, Overwatch hero, die. Jaina dies as well. Khaldor still trying to work, and oh my god, they're losing everything, aren't they? Leo comes back. Zeratul is trying to get the kill, gets it against Malfurion, but Leo again with a big swing. The Ancestral as the level 10 is ready. Oh, what? That heroic comes at the perfect moment in time, and thanks to the Void Prison, they can get the final percent. The Void Prison making it possible, and now the kill against Leo. What a setup here. Absolutely fantastic. Those heroic abilities couldn't have hit at like 1 second later, and they would have started to lose more heroes here. But with the 10 coming in, the quick Ancestral and the Void Prison actually allows them to get the Punisher. Removes them from the point, so to say, and then they get it. What a setup. What a fantastic fight over the first objective. That was actually glorious. 10 versus 10 right now. They're still sitting here and dropping the mid wall, but of course we should see a rotation towards the top side. 7 kills against 3, but boy was that a slaughter. That was actually fantastic. So yep, with that we're now seeing them go in again for the top wall, but they have actually taken a lot of damage on that protector. They might have wasted a little bit too much time in the middle. They won't be able to get this fountain. And that's normally the big objective that you're going for. You want that fountain. Now they opened the wall, so they have still a shot to get it eventually before the next objective spawns. But that's not quite as much value as you want to get out of objective number 1 and the first protector here. So we're still seeing a slight fight here between Toxic and Max Passion. But of course, here comes the aggression. Yep, Max Passion goes a bit low, but he's not in any risk of dying. Now again, normally what you do, you open the middle up and then you rotate top. But this time they just took too much damage in that engage. There's the Void Prison. Where's the ring, baby? There's the ring, and it hits hard. They're getting the kill against HANZO, and Maka is getting dropped too. Farlander escapes into the bunker. Cocoon is out too. They're trying to make the play for backhold, but they oh my god, there we go again. But this time the jet propulsion doesn't connect. But does it even matter? Leo is down as Rhaegar bites him. But there is the quick iron skin as we're seeing Johanna escape. The problem is that Malfurion can't get away, so they're dropping him too. With the help of the Beetles and the Anubarak spawns here, they can easily fight underneath the fort. Of course, the shots are getting soaked by the Beetles, and that's the fort eliminated. And Team Russia is back to business. I'm not quite sure what happened yesterday when they were playing against Coming Through, but that is more the Team Russia that we know. The aggression, the constant fighting. Against Coming Through, it didn't quite work out. Maybe just a skill question. But I would definitely not mind seeing those two teams go up against each other again and see if Team Russia just had a bad day on the first day of the tournament. Now we're seeing the 13 talent in the hands of Team Russia. 2-level lead, of course, on top of that too. A bit of a desperate attempt here to go for the healing beacon, but the problem is that the Russians are absolutely happy to fight for this. Zeratul is already rotating in. 20 seconds until he has the Void Prison back. Now there's the attempt to go for the healing beacon. So far, that ain't happening. We have Anubarak in trouble. Cocoon is on the ground. Maiev is dead after she gets the ult through. Ring of Frost is again in. Didn't quite do as much damage as they were hoping for, but enough. And there's a second kill. Johanna is dropped, and they have the healing beacon already used it. They get the third kill against Leo, and the Russians are just aggressive as usual. Great attempt, by the way, by HANZO to try and drop Farlander. Couldn't connect this though, and now obviously the top lane is getting assailed. There comes the healing totem right there. They're trying to drop some damage onto the fort itself, but they already dropped the fountain, and that is the first objective in this one. 14 kills against 3. 14 kills against 3 in this setup, and that is a brutal play now. And from the perspective of Team Cheese, it's a difficult spot to be in, because now the objective is spawning. You're already behind by 2 levels. You will have the level 13 talent, so that at least gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You can still force the fight, But let's face it, if they don't win the fight over the Protector topside, then it's going to be nearly impossible for them to start a comeback here. And they make the aggressive play, and they have to. Backhold starts the flank, they're going in, Twilight Dream being used. There's the attack against Khaldor Martian, self-ancestral for the win, baby. Nice Iron Skin that we're seeing here from Johanna. Stork is in a bit of trouble, but Make is, oh my god, he actually completely misses his ult, throws it into the wrong direction here. Couldn't turn around, but they get the kill against Jaina. Jaina is down, and that might be all that they needed here, but Backhold is low, the stun misses, Backhold, and Zeratul secures the kill. Leo is going to be back soon, but Make, if he falls, and I think this fight's over, and that's exactly what happens. Make goes down, Maiev is getting murdered in this one. Toxic on the way back now. The 16 talents are also on the board for the Russians, and that of course gives them a massive lead right now. Especially Epicenter as an engaged tool for Stork is just so powerful here. Not even talking about the Void Slash for Zeratul himself, which is just brutal. So Nuburak, Zeratul with incredible power spikes, the synergy from Khaldor Martian's Rhaegar with a level 1 talent choice, Colossal Totem into Earthgrass Totem. Toxic at this point actually missing the setup. Nice and 2, but it doesn't help. The kill is still there. HANZO goes down, and now Leoric is about to fall. The Russians are just playing whack-a-mole at this point. When a new hero appears, he gets immediately murdered, and everybody's dead and dying. Team Cheese is throwing everything they have against them. They know they can't lose this. Oh my god. Jaina performs a magic trick and makes Malfurion disappear. And I think she's going to follow that up with a second one, because Backhold is not going to be here for too long either. Down he goes. That's 22 kills against 4. This is absolutely murder. And well, that didn't work out. Now again, coming back to the initial statement, they kind of had to do something. Team Cheese definitely had to fight for this. They were behind, but they were on the same talent level, and that's the best shot you're gonna get to turn the game around. So they threw everything in their opponent in an attempt to win the objective, to win the Protector, keep themselves in the game a little bit longer. But that was just Team Russia's chance to kill them one after another. And they just destroy. At this point, they're so far behind, it's very unlikely they were going to see a comeback, but they tried everything they could here. There was definitely just fantastic coordination from the Russians, and Team Cheese was not able to do anything about that. We had a couple of attempts with setups here. The initial flank that we actually saw from Backhold on his Johanna wasn't too bad either, but this is just insane. And we were looking at a 3-level lead, 13 minutes in. Just look at the experience alone here. Through heroes, that's a 10,000 experience point lead through experience against hero kills alone. And now they're moving through the bot lane, and I mean, in this case, as you can see, it's all about prepping for the next objective. The Protector is still only a 13-minute Protector. Yes, you're fantastically ahead right now, but that level 16 talent is going to come into play for Team Cheese in a few seconds. And once that's the case, they have even talents with you, so you can't get too cocky here. If you get a little bit too arrogant with this, you can still fall. If you get team wipe, for example, because you were too aggressive and you moved into deep, then that underdog bonus through experience is going to be a massive issue. So they're playing it safe right now. They go for the bot lane and they want to try and end with the next Protector. But with especially HANZO, there's a quick burn against the Protector, as you can see right here. So it was a good choice to move through the bottom of the map. They could theoretically also gone for the top instead and just try to take the keep there and leave it at that. Make again is low. Wow, the Wall of the Wands is fantastic, but look at Jaina anticipating it already, getting the kill, and that is Zeratul dropping Malfurion as we have the keep itself fall. They're making the play for Leo. He's dead too, getting the trade value right there. And this might even be the end. 25 kills against 4. HANZO on the run. Barely escapes. Well, does he? Nope, he doesn't. You can run, but you can't hide. Fantastic performance here by Khaldor on Zeratul as well. What a game and what a statement from Team Russia as they are eliminating Team Cheese from the Nut Cup. The tournament victory, well, the game victory here for Team Russia as they take the 2-0 against Team Cheese and advance to the next round of the Nut Cup.